type and just help me count a little bit. Somebody could just type 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and then I'm going to shoot. So if you could do that for me, I really appreciate it. So help me, give me a little countdown, somebody. Kind of peeping at the screen. Wow. So I see the countdown is going. Good evening, good evening, good evening, one, good evening, all. I have to say good evening, Positive Moments family. This is Positive Moments with Andrew and Don, and this is webinar number 16. When we started out, we started on the 16th of May, that webinar was called Effectually Handling a Crisis. That was webinar number 1. And we had a goal in mind, and that goal was to go to 16. And today, the 11th of July, it is actually webinar number 16 on positive moments with Andrew and Don. And folks, I'm excited. You could tell. I'm glad to have you all in. It's like family. I'm still missing someone called Don Marty. She's supposed to be in very, very soon. I'm still missing her. I didn't see her yet, but I know she's going to come in because she's been there with us from the very, very beginning. So glad to have you all in. And folks, I have a little surprise for you. I have a surprise for you. This is called Positive Moments with Andrew and Don. Andrew has been all the way in Spain, I mean, doing the webinars, there with me, setting up. You know, Andrew's kind of the technical guy behind Positive Moments with Andrew and Don. But I have a little surprise for you. So it's a little riddle to figure out. I'm going to count to 5, and I want you to watch your screen. Watch your screen. Now, we're going to do a little camera tricks here. Here's what's going to happen. Watch your screen and see what's going to happen. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to join me in welcoming live, and hear me live on Positive Moments with Andrew and Don. The other half of Positive Moments with Andrew and Don. I'm Don, but we're missing Andrew. And I want you to give a warm welcome to Andrew, who is going to join me. How he's going to join me, I'm not sure, but I can tell you, by the time I count to 4, Andrew is going to join me on Positive Moments with Andrew and Don. So here goes. You did a countdown earlier. Here's my countdown. 1, 2, 3, 4. And to come in on the Positive Moments floor, I want you to join me in welcoming Andrew Lewis in person.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much for having me in there, man.
Wow. I know people are wondering, how is this being done? Surprise. And here, we're going to do a virtual high five. We're going to do a virtual. Did you hear? Let's go. Oh, gosh. Oh, here we have joining us in. Come on in. And we have a surprise. So guess who's in the house, folks? So not only is Andrew here, so Shaka Hislop is in the house as well. Welcome, Shaka, to Testimonies. This is the Testimonies webinar. And Andrew and I are kind of in person. Now, how we do that is a little virtual thing going on here. And everybody wonders, how is that possible? You know, all we're missing now is Shaka to come and just join us right here.
I would love to. How are you doing, fellas?
We had to have that. And we talking. They have no ESPN today, no. ESPN, they're just doing ads today because Shaka here with us. You know? So let's send some love out to Shaka. Shaka was on webinar number 9, and his webinar was called Optimism for the Next Level. And I tell you, Shaka, what they don't know is that we took that to heart. So optimism for the next level. Andrew was in Spain, but he's now here in Port of Spain. Okay. It's a different Spain.
Yes.
Wow.
Shaka, the long journey, man. I reached home 2 weeks ago. Did my quarantine here in Trinidad and Tobago. Very, very unique experience. But did 4 COVID tests so far. Wow, what an experience to come back home. But I'm more grateful than ever. And it's nice to be home and nice to be back.
I can imagine.
4 months later.
Wow. So somebody said you're not hearing Andrew?
Andrew's audio isn't great. I'm hearing you fine, Don, but I can't hear Andrew very well.
Oh, Andrew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
hmm.
Are
Okay,
you
that's
hearing him
better.
at all,
That's
Shaka?
better
Are you
now.
hearing him?
That's better. I
It's
don't know
better?
what you
It's
just did,
better?
but that's better.
Much
now?
better?
Better, but not as good as done.
All right.
Your audio, but better than it
That
was
meant-
a minute ago.
Okay. Yes, yes. We're gonna. That's a virtual thing here, right?
Right.
How is that?
Yeah, hearing you fine now, Andrew.
John, how is? No, you was going to say. You was going to say.
Let me see. So it's just a final figure which air. So how is that? Are you
How is
hearing
that
me
now? Better?
Yeah, well, I'm hearing you. Don, well, you not as clear as previously, but
I can be a little bit. Might be a little.
are you sharing one? Are you sharing one pair of the AirPods?
Yeah, exactly.
I think what's happening is the speaker is in the one that Andrew's wearing now. The mic is in the one that Andrew's wearing now. So you're hearing, because Andrew's so close to the mic, you're hearing him, but you're picking up Don's voice from,
All right,
2-3
we'll
feet
try
apart,
something
wherever it
here.
is.
How is that now?
How are we now?
Okay, that's better.
You...
And that's better.
Yeah, that's better.
Both of us?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, it is.
So,
Yeah.
hello. Right? You can spell it.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Okay, now I hear you. No, I've lost you now again.
Nah, we should be good to go there now.
Okay,
Are we
hearing you now.
better?
I hear you fine now. Yeah, hearing you fine now.
Much
That's
better.
it.
Thank you very much, Stella, too. So, folks, again, welcome to Positive Moments with Andrew and Dawn. This is webinar number 16. This is called Testimony Time. It was much, much more than an online live. And really and truly, it's really been a joy. We started this webinar about 2 months ago, these webinars about 2 months ago, sponsored kindly by Republic Bank. And actually, a little secret, we are at Republic Bank head office at the moment here, so they've gone all the way out for us, and just to make sure that we're comfortable and we can actually have a special and a wonderful webinar. And Shaka, for you, I know we would have shared some, since we have you on very early, we would have shared some feedback with you. And I'm sure there's some of the folks here who would love to share some feedback with you. And we're gonna, can we do a little raise hand, Andrew, so people can raise their hand?
Yes. But let's
Yeah,
Shaka go ahead first.
So Shaka, yeah, so we could talk about your experience as well too with us. And then we also just want to welcome very quickly Sophia Noel, who was in for webinar number 14. So Sophia, welcome in.
Hi, thank you.
Excellent, glad to have you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you.
Hi,
A lot of,
Yes,
So
hi,
Shaka, what we
Andrew.
could do is, excellent. So Shaka, what we could do first, if you could tell us what was the experience like for you, just with us, what you expected when you came in and experienced the webinar. I mean, we felt we were all having a chat at the corner. What was the experience for you?
I mean, it wasn't much different. I've known you since as a teenager. I've known Andrew and followed his career over the last decade or so. So it was, an easy fit for me just to come in and speak about my own past and some of the trials and tribulations that I faced and had to endure. And at the same time, kind of relive some of the successes. So, I think it's always good to relive those and to articulate those, even from a personal point of view. But similarly, I think it's equally important to share that successes always comes with pitfalls, and success is more dependent on how you deal with those pitfalls than how you ride the crest of waves when they do come.
Fantastic. And Shaka, that lines up with testimony, because to have a testimony, it always starts with a test. People miss that.
Yes,
part.
of course.
Give a testimony. The test comes first, and then how we rise above is not how many times we fall, but how many times we get up. We always have to
Correct.
make sure the times we get up more than the times that we fall. Because we all have these falls. But Shaka, we did get a lot of feedback, and I don't just want to say we got feedback. I really want some of the persons who are on, maybe you can just raise a hand and share from were you a part of Optimism for the Next Level, the Shaka Hislop story, or you looked at it on YouTube, and you can actually give some feedback to Shaka one time. You know, if you could do that one time, we'd really love somebody if you raise your hand. We don't.
Can I ask that when the messages come in, that you'll kind of read them back to me? They flash up quickly on my screen, and I can't really appreciate them as well as I should, you know. So just read them back to me so I know what I'm talking to and who I'm talking to.
Also, I would actually like to allow whoever would like to come in as an attendee, if you would like to say something or make a comment towards Shaka, I'll actually bring you in on the screen via video if you're comfortable, and via audio for sure. So just raise your hand if you have want to make a comment about the show on the whole, or directly towards Shaka in particular. Now would be great. But let me know. Just raise your hand or make a comment, and I'll let you in. But Shaka, while we wait for them, I just want to really ask you a question, because right now, even though things are normalizing, as they say, to what's happening around the world, it's still a very unsure situation. We're seeing a lot of uncertainty on a worldwide basis, not only in the sporting industry, but in everything that exists. That shows like this can help. Can help the confidence in others, and keep people believing that there is a future no matter what. What do you think about shows like this going on in the future?
Listen, I think there's been a lot of negative press and negative energy. Some of it I think is well overdue in dealing with some of the issues that we as Black people in particular have had to endure. And as much as that has been a part of our history for some 500 years, and it coming to and playing out in the way that it has over the last couple of months, it's important. But at the same time, we as a people have been able to endure the 500 years of this systemic oppression dating way back to years of slavery by feeding off of each other's accomplishments and successes and sharing our stories of encouragement and of victories. So this has to have a place in alongside some of the other issues that we continue to deal with as individuals, as friends, and I'll speak for myself here as a husband and as a father. We also have to feed off of each other's positivity in dealing with these issues that we need to deal with. And I made that point because as much as I may brand what has been happening over the last couple of months as a negative energy, I think it's imperative that we deal with that, and it is on us to deal with that in a way that is reflective of the struggles of our forefathers, and that also falls on our shoulders. But we have to continue to uplift each other through these moments as well.
Absolutely. Well, I couldn't be more thankful for that. We'll let Isabel come in with. Isabel, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
We hear you loud and clear.
Isabel Castagne! Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I know
you're Castagne.
Would you like to come in with video, Isabel?
Could you?
That's fine. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna bring you in. So once you accept, I'll bring you in.
Isabel and I were in class together in Form 6. Isabel went to St. Joseph Convent, and they didn't do so because the maths we did maths at A levels, and the classes between CIC and St. Joseph Convent were too small, so they combined. So Isabel and I were classmates. and was it on during our talk? I was saying how I'm trying to read more during the quarantine. Anyway, I was saying that I've done quite a few Zooms. I was trying to read more during the quarantine. Isabel gave me my first book to read, The Color Purple. is the first novel I read from back to front.
And a great,
It was a gift from Isabel.
Oh, God. That's a positive moment.
That's a
right
positive.
there.
And Shaka, that's what positive moments is all about. Isabel, come, let's hear you. What you have to say to Shaka? Let me hear. First, you thank you for the book. Let me.
Yes, that's right. I still have it. I'll give you my gift now.
but first of all, Shaka, it's wonderful looking at your career path and your successes. And I know the discipline and the hard work that you put into it from back in the CIC days. My son berated me when I said that you were so graceful in goals, but you were like a ballerina making it look effortless, but still so successful. I really enjoyed your particular positive moments with Andrew and Don. The fact that you put in that you always used to do extra work even after training, you know, the discipline, the dedication. I've been enjoying this whole series actually with my son. We both look forward to each session very eagerly. And it was lovely having him sit in on your own in particular, because he's always heard, even from my mom, about Shaka Hislop. So although he's not into football, he's into triathlons. And it was nice to hear you encouraging all the youths who are looking on and participating to seek their own path, and what leads to success for one person, that is not necessarily the same path, even in the same industry or sport or career, you know, or profession. There are different paths to success, and you have to follow your own path. And that came across to me in your presentation, along with the marrying the old time with no social media and our children growing up in this new world that is a bit new to some of us that are trying to grasp it. So I really enjoyed it, and of course it's lovely seeing you again. So
Thank you,
Andrew,
Isabel.
thank you for the opportunity.
Pleasure.
Wow.
Really happy to have you
Thank
and
you
come
so
in.
much.
Really
Oh.
appreciate everything as well. You for being the first one of all, huh? Thank you for leading the charge.
He's in charge. You know, and Isabel, we can't forget that moment, Isabel, when Shaka talked about running around the savannah, right?
Yes.
And what he was told in the person story.
Don't
I
worry,
mean,
goals, as we all know. So just how he runs.
Exactly.
You know, but both Isabel and Shaka, what you highlighted there is the importance of, if you want to be recognized in your particular field later on, you must be willing to do the extra, and that's something
Correct.
you have to keep reminding yourself. There's no overnight success, and people who do extra later on will be recognized in an extra special way because of the extra they would have done very, very early. You know.
Yeah.
But this is fantastic, man. This is what positive moments is all about. You know, you say that's Shaka's classmate. You have to look at it. That's Shaka's classmate. But you know,
Yep.
they didn't allow girls at that point in time in sixth form.
Wow.
And let me say, Isabella's
Wow.
age a whole lot better than me. I feel like I'm embarrassing Isabel by telling everybody in the world that we are the same age, or just about.
No, not at all. I took advice from last week and I put on makeup for today.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Wow,
Really
wow.
appreciate that. Well, we couldn't thank you, Shaka, for taking the time out again, and Isabel, thank you for coming in to make a comment. Shaka, we will, as you've all inspired us to blaze the trail you have, we will continue to do our best back at home, you know, because this is your home here too. And we look forward to one day bringing you back on to whatever the future lays for Don and I as far as shows, you know. And they may even give you a call for some advice or two, you know.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Of course,
that's right.
I'm always available in any capacity to give back to the home, as you rightly call it. I still, my wife and I still refer to Trinidad and Tobago as home, even though, you know, we've lived abroad for so long. It's still home, and that's still where our heart is. So happy to come on. I will exit now and leave you all to it. Thank you very much for having me a few weeks back. It's good to come back on. A really pleasant surprise seeing Isabella again. we go way, way back, as I mentioned. So that was an added bonus to my brief appearance here today. So I'll quietly blend into the background and leave you two to it.
Well, Shaka, just even before you go, let me just tell you, for me, knowing you all these years, your humility, that was a quality. I know you many, many years as a teenager that you've kept throughout the years, and that really is a joy to witness. And those of you looking on, this gentleman here, Shaka Hislop, ESPN commentator, Trinidad and Tobago goalkeeper, okay, wonderful world athlete, is a gentleman that you can look up to, certainly one of our role models in Trinidad and Tobago. Shaka, thank you on behalf of the whole Lafoucard family and on behalf of Positive Moments with Andrew and Don. Thank you again, Shaka.
Thank you very much. It's an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. I'll slink off into the back.
Yeah, he's in the back. Yeah, man. Sure, man.
So, we're bringing now Sophia.
Sophia. So Sophia is in. Hi, Sophia.
Hi, guys.
Does anybody remember Sophia was webinar number 14. And Sophia, it was child abuse and domestic violence, a first-hand view with Sophia Noel. Sophia, hello, welcome. Just 2 weeks ago, a couple of days ago, but glad to have you back on. This is a testimony segment. And you know, Sophia is one of those, when we brought her in, from the middle of the show, we want to say thank you one time. Because
and you audience, you could give, to welcome her to the show again.
Information.
Because this was a special one. They're all special. But this one played a unique role in my heart because as well as we're dealing with lots of positive moments, and this is a show about positivity, it's really important to touch on some topics that some people would fear to go towards. And you know, this was a topic that could be very fearful to get information on, and you came in fearless, but not only fearless, you came in with the resources, you came in with the depth information, you came in with what is the most important thing. You walk the talk. You do what you preach. And I think, I said that to you last time, I think that is what allows you to be so good at what you do and allows you to come in here and talk like you do. So yeah, you could just take it away from there and tell us, you know, while you tell us how you felt about this show so far, if anybody wants to come in the room, you all just put your hand up, I'll bring you all in. You're welcome to share whatever you all want. This is not our show today. This is everyone's show. This is Positive Moments with everyone today. Courtesy Republic Bank, you know?
Wow.
So yeah, Sophia, tell us, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the opportunity was fantastic, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity, thankful for sharing my experience, knowledge. The exchange was wonderful. What I said then, and I still believe it very strongly, is that it's important to recognize that there are people in life who just need a chance. They just need that one chance. And sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, we do not get to choose the cards we're dealt, right? But I'm not one that believes in crying over spilt milk and woe is me and all of that. You can do it. You can accomplish what you want to accomplish. I mean, and even when I coach clients or I deal with organizations, believing in yourself, believing that you have the capacity. Now, you may not always feel up to the challenge. That is the truth. Right? And you can look around and you can see people who may sound better than you, talk better than you, look better than you, more qualified than you are, but you have what it takes. And that is for me. But then there are people who also have what it takes. And all they need is an opportunity. All they need is a window. All they need is one shot, one person to believe in them. And then their life changes. And so I've set myself to be that one shot sometimes for someone, because you never know who it is. You never know who they become, you know? So I take great joy in just having the opportunity to invest in somebody else. It's life. You know, it's not like it's, you know, things, it's people. My God, it's a privilege to invest in another human. So I count it a joy on my side.
If I could paraphrase what you're saying, is that everybody is somebody. And everybody
Of course.
is important. Everybody is somebody. And Sophia, I'm just looking at some of the comments here. You know, I have Melissa saying, this was one of my best. Welcome, Sophia. And then we have Marlene saying, thank you, Sophia. As an educator with many years experience, I totally agree with you giving people chances. And then someone said, Sophia, Isabel, in fact, Sophia, you gave so much useful information. I mean, Andrew, I could still remember 996 and 800 save. Those are numbers that are now in my mind. Very, very, so child abuse, 996. Domestic violence, 800 save. And those are things that, you know, can
not,
make a...
Not only in my mind, but didn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you could think that they have fire, you have police, you have all these different things that exist, but to hear they have all these other things that exist, I feel, you know, I'm really actually proud of Trinidad and Tobago and to get that insight of how these programs have been running.
You know, but Andrew, what particularly impressed me with Sophia is, you know, some people talk the talk, but not many people walk the walk. And then for her to actually adopt a child, both parents are there, but to care for, to stand in the gap for that child, and then to hear from a teacher who was on the child, Karen, who said that they know the boy, and what she's saying there is very, very true. His life was transformed, and you could imagine the difference one could make in one could reach many. You know?
Yes, Sophia, I'm not sure if we gave you that story or not, but one of the teachers, Ms. Shepherd, had told us that she also teach the boy at that point in time. Pardon me for not knowing his name offhand, but he teach the boy at that time when he saw a difference in his life when he came under your wing. And that is once again, you walk in, you walk, talking, you talk. That is all of human beings we could ever ask of others around us to do, as well as from ourselves. You know, look at Karen is talking here. Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Karen. And the thing is, it has been a bumpy ride. I don't want anybody to think it's a walk in the park. There's nothing that is a walk in the park. I mean, even Shaka Hislop said it. It's you know, you have these difficult periods, but I kept holding that one, if I don't do it for him, who will? And he needs it. He may not recognize how much he needs it. He's a child. I know how much he needs it. And then I also wanted, if should anything happen to me, I want somebody to do that for my son. You know? It's not even about thanks and all of that. It's about, and if you want to look at it from a societal perspective, you know, if he didn't have any options, he might have ended up in a life of crime. You know, so you turn the person away from so many other ills. And even now, it's still a challenge, but let me tell you, he's my boy. And he'll always be my boy. And I would always stick with him, you know. I would always be in his corner. That is certain. I've made that decision. And I mean, and I'm hoping as I go forward, you know, there are more children and people that I'll be there for. I mean, and I don't know, I think we're supposed to give back. That's just my belief. And
I love what Karen said there. You change his destiny, but I heard something recently, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, Don and Sophia, is that you take a bad person, you put them in a good environment, eventually they'll become a good person. You put a good person in a bad environment, eventually, most likely, they say, the person will end up becoming bad. It's so important to realize what the environment around you, you know, if you know, if you're in a good environment, the chances of you succeeding are very slim. So it's really important to realize our environment, and not only the environment of ours, but other people's environments that may not be aware of what the environment is doing to them.
Yeah. You know, but part of positive moments, Andrew, as well, is helping people know it's not where you come from, but it's where you're going to. And your area doesn't make you. You make your area. And some people think that because they're from a particular area, that they must, you know, follow the pattern of that area. No, they don't have to. You could be that light in that dark place. You could actually be that shining light, you know, and that's what we want to encourage. That's what positive moments is also about, to encouraging people that you can make it in spite of where you are from, and the world has a wonderful place to you. And guess what? When you make it, just like Shaka, just like Sophia, you make sure and you come and you give back. You give back to help somebody else. That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I could give this one example, which was so interesting. I mean, I remember the first time he came to stay with me I wish I could have recorded everything. It was so interesting seeing these two boys, one who doesn't know anything about the other's life and vice versa. And I remember the first time I had to correct him, because part of all of that is discipline. And he got really upset with me. And then he started to get really down. And I remember having a conversation with him. I said, listen, why are you so down? You know, I just told you X, Y, and Z. He said, because every time someone gets upset with me, that's the last time I see them. I don't want that this will be the last time that I will see you. So even though I'm upset, yes, you corrected me, I don't want to leave. And I said, but the relationship doesn't end because we get upset with each other. He did not know that. he thought that came along with being upset. And it made me recognize even more that sometimes a person's world is framed in a particular way that drives their behavior. And we need to sometimes give way because we really don't know what is driving the person, and just allow people to be and allow your light to shine, and then, you know, it all works out.
Well, I'm looking at Sarah Joseph Lafuka, yes, relative, and she's saying love is really key to change, you know, but where there is hurt, we need more love. And let love always be the big thing. Let it always be bigger. Let's give more love in every situation to everyone.
Yeah.
You know, so that's very, very important, Angela. We have a love one for the other.
Absolutely.
All the time, irrespective of how we look and our differences, we can love each other.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we couldn't thank you more for once again coming in today and showing and sharing those powerful moments there on our show. You know, forever you will be part of Positive Moments with Andrew and Don. You know, you in a history of making this happen, and you came in here, blew us all away with what you had, what you went through, and what you're doing. So thank you very much for joining us here again today, and I couldn't thank you even more.
Yeah, thank you very, very, very much, Sophia. Those of you wanting, you should go and check out all the webinars. You know, Sophia's webinar was webinar number 14. Shaka was webinar number 9. You know, just to give you an idea. And I know we have someone who was very, very recent on. I know he's somewhere close by looking on.
Yes.
But Sophia, again, we can't thank you enough for saying yes so very, very quickly to us on this program. And guess what? We may be calling on you again. Well, that depends on.
This is a good Monica comment for you.
Yeah, Monica says, thanks so much. We embrace with an in-depth, we were embraced with an in-depth knowledge of the functions and roles of our government agencies. What was amazing is the love and compassion that goes beyond the person's call of duties. And that's certainly what you demonstrated from your heart, Sophia. And thank you again on behalf of Positive Moments with Andrew and
You are so welcome, guys. Keep up the good work. Don't let it stop. We need this.
Absolutely.
Not at all.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye, everyone.
So we'll bring in, yes, man. Everyone, welcome back, man.
This was webinar number 15. The entrepreneur in us. Somebody want to ask, is it in the US, Don? The entrepreneur in us with Devon Joseph, the US-based trainee. So, Devon, how you doing? How you doing, bro? What's up?
I'm good. I'm glad I could be here to give my own personal testimony. It was an amazing show last time, man. Thanks for having me back.
And you know, actually, I heard that Devon and my dad actually had a recent chat about potentials of the UE fund and that kind of stuff. So you see the connections just from, you know, actually are going somewhere. But Devon, before we get into you and you go in depth about the show, if anybody wants to come in at any point in time, just raise your hand. If you're not too sure how to raise your hand, just leave us a little comment below that you want to come in and share. You can come in with video if you want. You can come in with audio only if you want. You come in however you want to come in, and I will ask you before so you're comfortable. But we just want to get your genuine thoughts. And if that is not comfortable for you all, you all could write it in the chat also. We'll make sure that it's read out also. So Devon, you know, it's been 1 week, actually 1 week since we chatted. And
right.
Any reflections on how the experience was?
Well, I just want to say that the positivity is still happening. So, you know, people are still reaching out to me, you know, a week after, and it's continuing and it's building a lot of stuff to potentially happen in Trinidad. So I just want to say how inspirational it was for me personally to be on the show, because the positivity hasn't stopped, you know, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. So that's just a testimony to what you guys have been able to build here. And I know my show kind of touched on a little bit of everything, but I'm glad I was able to add a little value, you know.
Wow.
Well, not a little.
A lot.
Absolutely, you know, a lot of value came in your perspective. But what, you know, what resonated most with me that I experienced through you is that you're able to, you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, you left Trinidad and Tobago, you went to the US, you were doing all that you were doing, you achieved all that you achieved, but you really started to feel like your true purpose was coming alive when you were able to take what you've learned and help others, especially others who may have never had the opportunity to do what you do. So are you saying that your true purpose came alive
I lost you guys for a little bit there. I didn't get your last part there, Andrew.
Yeah, so what do you say? You hear me now?
Yeah.
Would you say that your true purpose started to really come alive when you were able to start to help people and take all that you learned and share it on one another?
Yeah, definitely. I think the 20 years that I spent working on Wall Street and at different firms, I didn't know at the time, but that was leading up to one thing, right? To me finding my true purpose and passion. So I think sometimes I think I said this on the show, sometimes we're in a hurry for stuff to happen, but, it's all about time, and putting your time in and realizing that, one day it's all going to culminate in one big thing. And I think that was Greenwood Project for me, So yeah, to answer your question, definitely, I think it was just putting my time in and now Greenwood happened and it's a success, so happy to for that as well,
Excellent. We have, we'll bring, Lisa, can you hear us?
Yes, I sure can.
Can I bring you in via video?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what we're talking about, man. No need to,
Yeah, man.
no shyness and no show, only love.
I have to put it on, right?
Yes, I will.
That would help. Well, hello. I
Oh.
really wanted to say hello to this young man, Miss Bevan.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Bevan. I'm Lisa. I've written you actually, so I think we're in touch now. I'm one of those that just I'm in transition. I would say was doing some work like in a moderate way, teaching literacy to boys at the YTC in St. Michael's, and had my own kid and started a family.
Mm-hmm.
And things have been in a bit of a transition. And when I heard you, something ignited. The words that you said meant a lot to me when you said, you take someone out of an environment, and we just said it before in the last interview, well, the last, should I say, webinar speaker, and you take someone and you put them in a new environment and you transform their world. So I've had experiences where boys came to my home and sat and had dinner and spent nights with us, and they were from this, really, really dysfunctional backgrounds, and they were kind of put up with the state, and they were put into state housing, I should say, or institutionalized. And I'm always praying that some of those kids would go on and be successes because they had a taste of something different. And so, Baban really, I'm only saying me, but I guess Baban is there hoping I could eyeball him and just say thank you for what you're doing. It's meaningful on so many levels. I want to say that it's one of the ways that I see we can make a difference in a society, in a world where there's so many ills, like, with the racism ill and everything else. And I think Bevan has really touched on all of that through what he's doing. So bravo, and all the best. A Diego Martin boy like my husband, Diego Sec. But a decade younger.
And then Shaka from Diego Martin too, huh? And Andrew from Diego Martin. I have to move to Diego Martin.
Diego Martin rule.
Thank you.
Hi, Isabel. I love Isabel too.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Lisa. I appreciate that. And thanks for all my former classmates who always supported me. They were on the show last week as well too. So I agree with you. Sometimes you just need students or kids just need mentorship. They need guidance. And show them something different. So thanks for what you're doing as well.
Thank you. Nice to see you. All righty.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you very, very much.
And you guys are doing tremendously, you know that, Don. I've been telling you that, and Andrew, I'm looking forward to working more with you.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
Take care.
Thank you for your support. And Lisa, before you go, and even as you're chatting and giving your comments to Bevan and sharing with Andrew and I, the world is actually a better place when we all collaborate.
That's
we all
right.
have the right heart, we hope to have the right heart. And when we get together, there's so much more that we can accomplish for the benefit of not just our society, but even people looking on from far away. So let's continue to do this,
And, we could really, a true testimony can come alive tonight. Where we have many people in here who said tonight, I will come in just to listen. I will never use my voice on this platform or my video. That's not me. I'm too shy to have. We can use that testimony right now.
Yeah.
And if you really, really want to say something, but you feel that little shyness, or you don't have that little
Come out
confidence,
of
you
it,
could
man.
come out
Come
with
out of
just
it.
your voice
Come out
alone
of
could
it,
become
yeah.
on the show.
You know?
And
Yeah,
then from there,
please
we can bring
do.
your
We
video.
need to hear it. Yeah.
Really want to hear you out, because the positive moments that, as I say, you better the environment is the more chance for growth. And by sharing more positivity, by nature, you're only going to get more. And that is all you want to do. That simple math, I believe, works and will forever work. So thank you very much, Lisa.
Keep it up,
Much
guys.
appreciated.
Thank you.
I like
Like-
that. Thank you very much. I like
Right.
putting people on the spot there. And I think, we have Stella. Stella, I know you're listening to us. And Stella, we really want you to come in and say something. Vivian as well, too. I don't know where Vivian, I'm not seeing Vivian. I'm not sure where she went to. But Stella, if you'd mind saying a couple of comments for us at all. And even, because I'm not sure if Stella may have been able to get a hold of with Bevon Joseph here. But certainly there's some comments that Stella may want to make. So Stella, could we have you come in and say something? Stella is all the way in Belgium,
Stella, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm here.
Folks, let's give a warm welcome to Stella all the way from, that's what we're talking about. All the way from Belgium is in the house. Stella, tell us about, did you get a chance to see Bevon's webinar?
Oh my God, not yet, but I know entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So we have to get
oh
that
my
one
God.
on YouTube. But Stella, tell us, positive moments with Andrew and Dawn. What has it been to you?
It has been magical. It's like I think it's like 11 p.m. here, but I'm not sleeping yet, and it was really magical. I mean, the guests, they brought me magic and so much positivity during these moments, and your community, everybody's cheering each other. I think the one thing that I really take into account here is the fact that every experience of everybody is respected, and there's like that respect of each other's journey to positivity, and that's what makes it magical. There's not just one way. Every way, there's no wrong or right, and everything is right actually with positive moments. So you can just invent your own way. It will be fine. So I just love it. So it's beautiful what you're doing, and thanks a lot.
Stella, you couldn't have said it better. I'm really, really happy you came in and joined us here live from all the way from Belgium. That is even more interesting. For those of you who don't know, the way that Stella and I met was a very, very unique way. Very, very unique way. Stella and I came across paths over a very interesting platform. And now, many months later, or 2 or 3 months later, Stella is now on our show. Stella and I have been in contact. She's met, she's always spoke to Dawn. This is how small the world is. You never know who you're going to connect with, how you're going to connect with them. And this is the beautiful, magical thing. Like, how in the world was I supposed to know Bevon was going to join us in the show? That was not planned. Neither Stella. That was not planned. I could have never thought that Bevon Joseph would be on the show live with us. Neither Stella, all the way from Belgium. It's just a world that if we really attract the things that we want, and I really wanted to talk about, entrepreneur stuff, and I really wanted to have our guests come in and have the confidence, like Stella, to come in. I wanted this, and Dawn and I really wanted to have these kind of things happen on the show. Look at it. It's happening live right now. That did not, that was attractive. And this is where I would like to touch on a little topic here. And Bevon, I think you will really appreciate and believe in this too, because in some things in life, we know we want them. We know exactly what we want. We do not know the pathway to getting them. The pathway to actually achieving some things is not a pathway that we could see. It's not a pathway we completely plan, but we know there is a pathway. And that is faith. That's what allows me, especially, to continue going, because I know that pathway will come alive. A lot of people say, well, I don't know where I'll find that money. I don't know where I'll find that money. You will find that money eventually. If you don't find the exact number, sometimes you'll find less, sometimes you'll find more. But what you will find is a success outcome that you really desire and work hard towards. And this is what this show is about. We knew we were going to do 16 sessions. We knew it was going to be positive, but we let the people who were really a testimony of what this show is about, come to our show, and it could never went any better.
Yeah, and
And
that's what
Andrew,
we're actually keeping it. Yeah. Go ahead, no, sorry.
no, Andrew, I was gonna
Governor,
say,
go.
and then when you find out, when you finally figure out the formula to get it done, it's important to give back, you know. So that's why when I came on the show, like
That's
the
it.
7 steps and all that stuff, and I told Don I'm gonna email it to him so he could share it with everybody. So yeah, once you figure it out one day, it's important to give it back to you, know.
That's
Yeah.
it.
But you know, but Bevan, I want to quote you. Passion is my fuel, but execution is my mileage. Am I correct? Is that what we're talking about there? You know what I mean? I mean, Stella is so many miles. I don't know how many miles from Trinidad, but I can tell you she also has a passion for what she does. And folks, Stella that you're seeing there has actually been on TED Talks as well too.
So y'all could check out. Y'all could also check out Stella's
Stella
website.
Bida, B-I-D-A.
Stella, please put it in the chat so they can check it out,
Check
because
out
they
your
must
website.
see. If y'all know, if y'all
I
see the kind
will.
of people, if y'all see the kind of people that Stella has met around the world and who she's been
Yes.
around,
Yes.
Stella,
Yes.
Stella is not a.
A household name in Belgium.
Stella is not only in Belgium, but some other places too. And she's now becoming a household name in Trinidad and Tobago.
Wow.
But that's a beautiful thing, you know. The world is ours to
Wow.
share. The planet is ours to share, you know. And as Don says, what about Earth? What do you say about Earth?
Well, you know, I always say about Earth, E-A-R-T-H, Earth has the same letters as heart. So guess what? When you do what you find that passion as we're talking about, Bevan, and you do it from your heart, you get to travel around the earth and you get to experience the love around the earth with everyone.
And while we're there, you could also tell them about it, you know.
Well, you know, if you're seeing the banner behind us, when I look at this banner here, you know, what that says to me, I mean, you've probably seen 2 hands come together, shaped like a heart. But what it says to me is that what we put in our heart, we can have in our hand. And I've had Andrew in my heart, watching him in Spain all the time. And guess what? I could give him a high five right now. He's in my heart. Yeah, we kind of do the unsocial distance thing there a little bit, you know what I mean? But guess what, folks? Guess what, folks? That's what Positive Moments is all about, you know? And we're so glad to be able to, in a little while, we're going to have someone from Republic Bank come on and make a few comments as well. But I'm sure, is there anybody else want to make some comment? Bevan, you want to make some comments? Stella, you want to make some comments before we open back up the floor?
Well, I would love to. I'm always in for comments when it's positive.
This is the place, you know what I mean? This is the place and the time, man. Sure, come on, let's hear you, Stella. Give us some
Yeah,
play.
really short and sweet. I want to thank you for, I mean, I feel like I'm in Trinidad and Tobago now. I think I should really be there one day once I can fly there. But yeah, you have an amazing community and what you're doing is just really impactful. I can't wait to talk to you about the impact you did on me also. So thank you guys, everybody. I'm so happy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stella, man. Glad to have you, man. Belgium in the house. Wow, wow, wow. Bevan, you want to share anything, Bevan? You want to tell us anything before we open up and let's see who...
I think I agree with what Stella said. So what you guys have done is created this community, right? Following the show and people are talking about it, and it's, I mean, again, I'm looking forward to the next 16 episodes for sure. I know it's gonna happen. But, you guys definitely created a community, you know, and I think it's just growing and growing.
Wow, that's fantastic, man.
Yes,
that's fantastic.
yes. And Lisa, Stella will put the attached to her website, because yes, Stella has done a TED Talk before, so you could follow up on on what she's done in part. But Bevan, we want to thank you so much for coming and joining us here today. Mad respect. You know,
anytime.
You've been able to not only have an effect on your community over there, but I know you also play a role back home in Trinidad and Tobago with different individuals' lives, and just those simple efforts that you've been able to take, you know, this week and do the things you've done, could not only save a loved one's life, but really and truly propel them onto the opportunity to take their life to the next level of where their heart really believes they need to go. All right, so thank you very much for joining, brother. And you know how to find us anytime. The show will forever be part of you, and we will all be forever part of us. So thank you very much for joining us, brother.
Yeah, I think Denisha has a hand. Denisha has a hand. Yeah.
Take care, brother.
Thanks again, Bevan. Bro, my new bro, man. That's another bro too.
Yeah, man. So we'll bring in...
yeah, Denisha has... I see Denisha's hand was raised, so we could get something from...
So we don't have a name to the galaxy, A.
Is it? Yeah, because I saw her hand raised.
Who is this here? Can you hear us?
Can you? Is that Denisha? And James wants to say something. James wants to say something as well too.
You have to unmute your microphone so that we can hear you.
Okay, so
can you hear us now? Can you hear us?
Is this James or Denisha?
I think this is Denisha. We can't hear you.
Behind the dog? Are we getting somebody coming in here? Oh, hi.
Yes, man. Can you hear us? Richard, can you hear us?
Yeah, are you hearing me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear, man.
So who we have here? This is Richard.
Yeah, Bruce Richards.
All this Zoom, so I'm taking my time to adjust it. So I'm kind of playing it around, and I got as you know, I got this new phone, so I'm just trying to learn the Zoom.
All right, but you hearing us now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, man. So we wanted to hear what you thought about the show.
Oh, excellent. But sorry to be late, but I apologize. But I'm glad this is a topic. I want to see more of these sessions, because we live in a world that a world that is full of toxic, right? And not only that, too, many people lack faith, and faith is something that we need to give people. I can give you faith, you can give me faith. We have to give each other faith, because faith is an ongoing process. You understand what I'm saying, right? And it's something you have to believe. The results may not happen right away, but it's going to happen. You just gotta have it in you. It begins within you. Nobody can reassure you, but you have to believe it in yourself. You hear me?
Wow.
Absolutely. We couldn't agree more. We couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
You know, that's fantastic, Richard. Because Richard, I just want to add, you can't spell the word success without you. So it means every single one of you, every you outside there, success is possible for you. I just want to add that as well. So,
something I wanted to contribute to you all here from me, right? And remember the chat that you had with Arthur Lockjack, Andrew? The chat that I looked up with you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad that you mentioned to the young people that success is not about passing exams, because an exam is an exam. An exam doesn't define who you are, right? Now we live in a world that we live on too much colonialism theories, right? That is what is killing our society, right? Furthermore, we allow some of these things to be part of us, but it doesn't make us who we are, right? Yes, we could learn from it, but what I'm going to say on that aspect of it, success is not about having the money in the world or having all the possessions in the world. Anybody could have those things. But what I'm going to say to you is, what can you do to inspire others so others can follow you? Material things are not success, because material things rot, right? So us depending on material things for success, it's like you make it an image of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. We couldn't agree more, man.
Richard, I agree with you 100%. And if I had to define success, for me, success is finding out what it is you're gifted to do and doing that for the benefit of other people. That for me is my interpretation of success. And we all have something that we're gifted in. May not be academics, may not be sport, but there's something that we all gifted in.
Sometimes I will say to you as well, right, on success. I look at the bigger picture of things. We need to show people success is a bigger picture. These things that we look at exams and material things, those are just the best place to be successfully is with yourself. Be at peace. Peace is success for me. Creating the peace in yourself is success, right? And peace is something that we all need. And success for me is doing the Lord's will, the will of the Lord. I want you to understand that, right? How can you,
Richard?
right? How can you grow spiritually? That is what we need. That is what I look at perseverance and faith. Not for the worldly things, but something that people can fall through, can walk along with you, walk the light, you share the light. That is success.
Absolutely. Well, Bruce Richards, we couldn't thank you more for coming in and joining us. We look forward to having you and whatever comes in the future. And really thank you for tuning in and all the comments on Facebook. We couldn't be more grateful for your support, your
This
love.
is the
Yeah, so we couldn't be more thankful for all the
wow.
support in the show. We have some stuff in the future brewing that we look forward to sharing with all of you all. And if things work out the way the Lord has planned them to, we would like to have you even closer than you would have ever imagined. So you continue doing your thing and you keep strong. And anytime you know how to find Don and I, because you've been in contact with me for a long time now. So you take care. You have a blessed day. All right.
Yes,
Thank you, Richard.
you will always have my support, my brother Andrew. And Don, you will always have my support. Well, it's time
You know, on this program, let me tell you, when both of us raise our hands and you get that, right? When you see Andrew do that and we go like that, that's something special, okay? Thank you again. Thank you.
Bruce,
yes, we go way back. We go way back.
We go real far back, man.
Wow. Thank you, Richard.
Take care, brother.
Andrew and I go way back.
Wow. Excellent. You want to hear from James? Let's hear a little bit from
Let's
James.
bring in James, man.
Yeah, because James, where are you? And James is...
I'm right there.
Come on, folks. Let's give some love to James. So James is how old? How old is he?
James, how old is he now?
14.
And James, how many webinars have you made? You've made
15. 15.
Wow.
Anyone I missed, I watched on YouTube twice. So.
Wow. What are your impressions of the positive moments with Andrew and Don? Tell us, what has it meant to you as a 14-year-old?
I mean, well, that's the biggest part of it. Even as a 14-year-old, I was honestly quite surprised how much it even impacted me as being such a young age. Because there were some topics on being an entrepreneur, the child abuse, which are not exactly topics that would directly affect me as I am now. But even being at my age and like listening in, there was so much I was able to take away from those sessions. So I found that was quite amazing. But
so you were able to join us for all these sessions, and you know, even on some sessions you thought may not be very impactful to a 14-year-old, but I would like to encourage you to realize that there's no topic that is not important for a 14-year-old when it comes to the world of learning, because the more we know is the more power we have in life. Knowledge is the key to success. And for you to join us here with this level of commitment, you have come in here and you know, I'm not too sure what your friends around you are doing or what the people around you are doing. What I can tell you is you have committed to something that is going to help you grow. And I know you have a little bit of a athletic career in the making in the sport of triathlon, and you have been training for a long time. And that kind of discipline is something that you really like, triathlon, or to the show like you've shown. These are the kind of things that will brew big successes. So I really, really want to commend you for being as disciplined as you are to come in and show your own free will. And the one that you missed, he said he wanted to miss, you watch it twice.
Twice on YouTube.
You know, so that's goes to show that you know, you really are committed to something that you started. You registered to the first one. You knew there were going to be 16 sessions, and you pushed all the way through. You know how many people who did not do that? Your level of commitment to a 14-year-old is much higher than some others that would not, because we could all commit it. We could all commit to the show if we wanted to. That's a fact.
Yeah, and Andrew, what I admire here, I'm seeing Marlene White, the principal, and she's actually saying to you, James, you can be an ambassador to the youths. And I'm just going to add to that, and I'm going to say you are an ambassador to the youths, James. What you're doing there is a fantastic thing. You're actually very, very focused. For a 14-year-old, you could have been on the computer and on the phone and doing all sorts of things. But I want to tell you, you keep it up, because we have no doubt that later on you're going to walk and do your own amazing things as well too. And he's one to have on the show at some point in time.
We also have a very special gift coming for you, not only as one of the youngest ones, but one of the more committed people to the show. We have a very special gift coming for you, and we look forward to getting you, because everybody who really, you know, commits to something should not only be praised for their success, but really and truly celebrated for putting the time out, you know?
Yeah, and what you demonstrate there, Andrew, is a commitment, and that's very important. Very, very to be committed this age and so focused. I mean, that's fantastic. I think could somebody make a comment to James? Because I think I'm seeing.
Well, I mean, I know you're talking a lot about my commitment, but there's also all of your commitment towards this show and Republic Bank for sponsoring. I mean, I know both of you all have many other things that you could be doing now, like Andrew as well as training for the 2021 now Olympics. So there's also that. Very inspirational to everybody else here trying to come out and just join these sessions, but you're putting in all the background efforts, starting them and getting them done for us.
Yeah. Well, James, Positive Moments has actually impacted families, and I'm so happy to see your mom on now. Mommy, what would you like to say to James? Because he really makes us feel good about actually going through with this idea, you know, supported by Republic Bank.
Well, first of all, I have to say that James has really, as you've seen, put in the commitment, and I'd have to tell you that many times he would be the one when the time was coming for the webinar, Mom, Andrew and Dawn, or somebody would ask us, could he go to this training session, or could he do this? And he's like, oh no, Mom, that's Wednesday at 4 o'clock, Andrew and Dawn. So from my perspective, imagine a mother and a 14-year-old boy. This whole series has been so delightful to me, besides the amazing content in every session, that to be able to share this with James. Because if I say, come and watch this series on TV, Mom, I don't want to watch a series with you. But this series, we've been going the whole way through, and it, you know, as you said, there's so many topics. You think it's not relevant to a 14-year-old, but it is. It's relevant. It's things you need to know, things you need to be aware of, and it's given us even more dialogue. You know, it's been an amazing experience, and I'm very impressed, James, with your commitment and how much that you are taking away from this and how much you benefited. So Andrew and Dawn and Republic Bank, thank you. And please keep bringing it. There's so much to be got from all of these sessions. I want to go back on each YouTube because, you know, there'll be one little thing that really sticks, but there were so many others in that one session. So, you know, keep bringing it. And James, well done. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Isabel.
both
Much
Isabel and
appreciated.
to James as well.
Yeah,
And
thank you guys. It's really amazing what you all are doing here. I can't stress that enough.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We also have Merlin on. Merlin is on with her daughter Andrea as well too, and they've been sitting down together. So hi Merlin and Andrea again. You know, they've been sitting down and watching the webinars as well, and that's what it's all about, actually getting the family to do something constructive even in this time of COVID. You know, do we have any, because before we bring, because we have a special.
I wanna bring in one more person here. Sherelle, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
Good
Hi, Sherelle. Hello. Hi.
I couldn't leave there and not bring you in. You know, tell us. I wouldn't even introduce you. You just tell us what you have to say, and then I'll introduce you after.
Well, I've been on, not for every single session, but for the ones that I have been on, this has really been quite impactful. It was a really great initiative to be able to add some positivity in the midst of all that is happening around us in the world. And some of the topics or some of the sessions that really stood out to me was the one with Golda Lee, as well as one with Shaka Hislop. Those were some really impactful webinar sessions, and I shared them with friends of mine to tune in and listen as well. So thank you all for doing this.
No problem. And for those of you who are watching on, you all need to remember this name from now. Huh? You all have to remember this Miss Thompson name, because for those of you who don't know, she is also on the journey to Tokyo 2021. What? She's a Trinidad and Tobago national swimmer who is on the same platform as me with, you know, doing webinars, working.
Just finished one actually.
Just finished your own webinar.
Just finished one and tuned into yours.
Awesome. So if anybody who's interested in swimming or interested in or knows anyone interested in swimming, you know, please, Sherelle, put your Instagram name, whatever you want in the chat, so they can come on and check out your webinars too. But I'm really happy to have you in here. It's a real honor to share this platform with you and other platforms that we share together, because I know that you know you have a strong belief that together we could be, you know, much better and grow
and make a difference in the world.
Make a difference in the world. So I couldn't thank you for popping in and saying hi. And I will bring in someone else now. Thank you, Sherelle. So we're gonna bring in one of our favorites.
Yeah, so Dan Marty, that's you. I hope you're hearing us.
Dan Marty, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Would you like to come in and make a few comments about these webinars? What you thought? You give us your thoughts. Quick, a little brief comment before we
Okay, I'm trying to get my video on. Sorry. Hi, this is Hello, everybody. I made it from the hospital. My uncle had surgery this evening, and I was praying that I get the last. I cannot miss any of this, not even the last 5 minutes.
How many of them were you on for, Dan Marty?
All.
I wanted him to say it, you know?
Oh my God. This is so beautiful. So I want to say thank you, Dawn and Andrew. I am able to inspire people because of your inspiration. I've been sharing for people. I'm one of the best sharer in this world. My grandmother taught me I must share all the time. So when you touch me, you touch many. Your energy is so beautiful. I'm feeling it from here. So when you give me energy, I'm able to give everybody. So God helped my uncle to get with surgery today. And we were just able to say, watch him and leave. And I was so happy. I was praying to God that I reach him to get the end of this.
Wow.
So that I will hear about the next one.
Yeah, well, if you have to stay till the end of the program for us to say something, you don't know yet, you might say something, you know?
Yes, I am staying. I just came home. That's what I said. And I set up my computer. And let me tell you something. Wednesday, I zoomed in for the meeting. And watch me now. I stayed home Wednesday. I didn't want to. And oh my God, I said, darling, you didn't see the date. It's Saturday. You know, so I keep my calendar clear for today. But the surgery was, we didn't know the surgery was carded for today. So it happened, and thank God it's okay. So I do thank you for inspiring so many of us Trinidadians and the world. And when you inspire someone, we inspire other people too. So thank you for giving us this for free. You know, besides being free, we are able to inspire others. So thank you for touching our lives to touch other people's lives. And there it goes. And my profession is supply chain. So thank you for keeping the supply chain of energy going.
Wow. But you know, you said it there because we all blessed to be a blessing. You know, we all blessed to be a blessing. And what really makes it smile is that you're actually sharing these webinars, and they're all on YouTube here. So even to share the link for somebody else to benefit, that's really what it's all about.
You know, I share it for church, I share it for my community groups everywhere. You don't know who Dawn and Andrew is? How you could not know who Dawn and Andrew is? So let me tell you who Dawn and Andrew are, and I will, and then you will go forward. So my nieces and everybody, Dawn, my nieces met you, so I shared it for them, and they shared it for their friends and everybody else. So. And let me tell you how life is a circle. I have this plant, the local name is Jump and Kiss, right? So everybody I love the plant is white and other colors, but everybody fall in love with the white because white has that energy. So somebody called me one night and said, oh, you're showing off with your Jump and Kiss, but I got plants. So I said, where you got it from? So when she told me, and I said, I know this circle. So I gave it to one person, and that person shared and shared and shared and shared and shared. So it was a circle. It came right back, right around. So that's an example.
Absolutely.
Yeah, your energy. And Andrew, we fell in love with you the day when you got in your accident in Brazil. My aunt and I, we fell in love with your appreciation for life. Yes, that's it. And we followed you from that day till now. So I too myself wouldn't have known Andrew, maybe just I know my sports, but I wouldn't have known you personally you know, from that day to now. So I share with you, you are like family to my aunt and myself. And our Dawn has joined the family as well, you know, so.
Ah, and nobody
I cannot get rid
if Andrew in the family.
You are in the family.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
Thank you so much. This is
So
what
I-
positive with Andrew
Yeah,
and Don is all
so
about.
it's a supply chain. It's about supply chain. And supply chain doesn't end when you give the person the item or the product. There's after sales customer service. So therefore you go, it continues. It doesn't end there when you get the item or the service. It continues thereafter, and that's who you are. It continues after.
Right. Well, if we need supply chain for the show, we will.
Well, yeah, again,
We want it and stuff too. So,
well, you know,
Marty, we want to thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you again, man. Thank you.
Much
And I wanna
appreciated.
do something. Thank you very much. You know, folks, this show, you're seeing us here. We have on our lovely blue polos, and we really want to say a special thank you to Republic Bank, who has made it possible. And we decided to have a little addition in our webinar today, webinar number 16, because we actually have a very special person. He's actually the brand specialist from Republic Bank Limited. His name is Christopher Ed, and Christopher is going to join us. He's going to come and join us on set to say a little special thank you to all of you on behalf of Republic Bank. So please give a little warm welcome to Christopher Ed, brand specialist from Republic Bank.
Thank you, Andrew and Don. Well, I could say it's really incredible just hearing feedback from everyone, and you know, and there are lots of lessons learned. And as Dadmati said just now, you know, when you touch one, you know, you touch many, you know, and that was an incredible lesson learned. But you know, just wanna say on behalf of Republic Bank, it's my pleasure to extend heartfelt thanks to Don and Andrew, who in the midst of a very stressful time, from all of us, committed to using their power to make a difference in the lives of our citizens. They saw the need to host a series like this and were determined to bring the ideas to life. I also offer special thanks to you, the guests, that Don and Andrew invited to join them, as they share not only their positive moments, but also gave particular advice and encouragement to those who tuned into the series. Finally, I thank all of you, the participants, who subscribe to the webinars on a weekly basis and help to build this Positive Moments community. It's really a community, I would say. I trust that you all have benefited from the topics discussed and continue to use your platforms to spread positivity. On behalf of Republic Bank, I wish to express sincere thanks to entire Positive Moments family. I just want to say hi to Isabel. I haven't seen you for quite a few years. You know,
were you in class with her too?
No. I played hockey with Douglas many years ago in the barracks. So
wow.
Yes, so
wow.
It's been a positive, you know, experience.
You know, but Christopher, what you're saying is really is a family, and that's what Positive Moments is all about. This will be a family of humans, you know, and first if we could get together and say and do something positive. This would not have been possible without Republic Bank. And we, and Andrew and I, really want to say thanks again to Republic Bank for believing in our idea, believing in these two brash guys. A guy in Spain and a guy somewhere close to Port of Spain, you know what I mean? You know, want to come forward and actually do something positive. And the bank, to me, has really demonstrated the power to make a difference. Yeah. And on behalf of us, we really want to say thank you again and again for making it possible.
No, but it's really fantastic, because I wasn't at all the webinars, but the one or two I attended, I learned a lot. You know, there was writing down, you know, and remembering stuff, you know. But so no, it's been a great experience, and I think you all should continue it. You know, the bank is behind you.
If the bank is saying to continue that, folks, you're not having there already. I start to shake. Let me get a little. If the bank is saying they continue, you know what I mean, Andrew?
And Don, I know we've gone back many years.
Many years, yeah.
Don worked at the bank also.
I actually worked with Christopher as well too. So you see, and this is an example too, folks. You don't burn your bridges. This is a story about life happening here. you don't burn your bridges, okay? You never know if you're on a ladder. If you have to go to another ladder, you have to pass back where it is you first pass.
Yeah, I always
you know, and it's very, very good. And Christopher, what I like too is that the bank has been able to showcase in these webinars its brand ambassadors. Andrew is one, and we have a fantastic choice, not just in Andrew, but the other brand ambassadors, Jareem Richards, Nyla Blackman, Khalifa Sinford, Shanice Charles, you know, wonderful brand ambassadors. So the bank is actually doing its part and bringing all these young people together, and they're making a difference in the lives of many young people, even on the positive moments with Andrew. And
yeah, but that webinar to me was one of my favorites. Because it gave a different perspective from ambassadors from different areas. You have the sports, you have the being an artist. So it really, and all of them, even though they were in different fields of sport, and Nyla with her performance, they always came back to the same understanding, you know, being positive and just putting your best foot forward, and not letting limitations keep you back, but just always just moving forward and striving, and you know, just seeing Andrew's challenge, I would say, was no struggle or anything. I always see it as a challenge, because sometimes these things allow you to grow.
Yes.
And it makes you a better person in the end. It doesn't keep you back. It doesn't hold you back from anything. Once you use that as a positive, sometimes, you know, we end up in negative situations, but if we use that to drive us in a positive way, it makes a big difference in your life. And sometimes you go through crisis, but crisis always makes us stronger in the end. You know, once you have the blessing of God and all around us, and the support from everybody, it's positive vibe.
Wow, Andrew, you understand, Andrew?
You
understand my sponsors, you understand how it goes together.
Family, man.
Yeah, that's part of the family.
Good to be part of the family.
Oh, wow. But folks, this is really, and I just send some love to Republic Bank, because they really made it happen. You know, some people talk the talk, and then some people like Sophia Noel, they walk the talk. And Republic Bank is actually walking the talk as well too.
Absolutely.
You know, so that really makes us happy. You know,
and Natalie was a big part of this too, bringing us together.
Certainly. Yes, certainly, you know, and Natalie, I think she's on, maybe looking on as well. But Natalie, we want to say thank you from behalf of Positive Moments with Andrew and Don. Folks, did you all hear any good news just now? Andrew, did we hear any good news?
We're working hard to continue it. We would not want it to end.
Do you all want the program to continue? You know, now is your chance. They're listening. The bank is listening.
Just give us a big yes.
Do you all want the program to continue? Yeah. Do you all want it? Yeah. Wow. Andrew, I'm seeing yes.
So people still want to take the Saturdays to be here.
Wow.
So, but while it's a good laugh and exciting to see these things, you can see it's needed.
Yeah.
You know. So this is, I mean, I've always said that this is not a joke. The show is not here it's not a carnival show. It's not any kind of comedy show. Yes, we have some fun on.
Yes.
But this is a show about really creating positivity where some people cannot find it, and when some people can't find it, it could enter the life-threatening or life-ending situations. This show is really built to build the community, to build Trinidad and Tobago, and now we have a platform with people around the world to really help inspire wherever you are in the world, whatever you are doing in the world, however you're doing it. So, you know, thanks to Republic Bank and Chris, thank you very much for joining us here today. Really appreciate you taking your Saturday to, on behalf of Republic Bank, to express the gratitude for the show and to let them know that you know we have the support of the bank moving forward if there is an opportunity at hand.
Yeah, that's good. And Andrew, we have to say thank you to a lot of people who didn't make it today. You know, Giselle Laron West. Giselle was on as well too. We've also had Kyron Pollard on as well. We have a young man by the name of Syed Bash.
Yeah.
That was talking finance, and so that was very fantastic. I mean, folks, you have to see the importance of savings. That was Syed Bash. And then, of course, we had Golden Lee Bruce as well to webinar number 7, which we continue to get feedback for that. So I don't think I may have left out any of the specially invited guests. And so we have Monica. Yes, we had Monica for the leadership as well too. Monica was really, really special. And we got a John Maxwell video too, Andrew. a little John Maxwell video inside of Positive Moments as well. So I think we got a lot. Monica Rogers Fletcher, you know, who joined and to make Positive Moments what it has turned out to be and what it can be, you know. So folks, Andrew and I are not settling for just letting this fall down. I mean, certainly with all the support that we can get, we want positive moments to go through because we all need positive moments in our life. You know, from even the Andrew Lewis story, there were so many positive moments coming out of that as well too. So I want to say a special, Andrew, from me to you personally, and for you to be back here. We just thank God that you are back here with us in person. You had to quarantine and all that, but you were able to make it through, make it here today. He's only out of quarantine 2 days ago, you know, and to be here today, sacrificing the time that he could have been with his, okay, let me just say, you know, his other interests. When you're talking bank, you have to talk interest, you know? Yeah, talk interest, you know? But, you know, it's really, Andrew, a joy for the idea for us to actually sit down and conceptualize positive moments with Andrew and Don. So it's really been a joy to have you, and you know, just with me and to go through all these moments, Andrew. I really want to thank you for that. You made it even easier.
And, you know, first of all, without, you know, our connection through Republic Bank many years ago,
through Republic Bank,
this wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
This is where it all started.
Yeah.
So, you know, Republic Bank has connected us from the start, has kept us together, and that is what really and truly family is. They're seen as a business and enterprise. Really and truly, they are a family, and we fall under that family. And we wear the shirts very proudly. I can tell you that. I represent Republic Bank with a proud smile.
Yes.
To know that they've been behind me all this time, and I have a heartfelt, you know, there's a heartfelt specialness around this program. And when the company Republic Bank comes in to be part of that, they automatically are part of that memory for life. So I will never forget the moment they brought us together. I'll never forget the moment when I won my first Republic Bank account at 9 years old in a golf tournament, which brought me to be a Right Start account holder in Republic Bank, to the point where eventually I went to the big game and became a brand ambassador. So now, and this is, you know, they talked about, you know, if you wanted to continue keep going around and around, you could keep these things in life forever. So that's what we want to do with positivity. We want to keep it going around and around and around forever. So when you leave this planet, you can actually leave that positivity still going around and around, because your name will forever be associated with something positive. So, you know, thank you very much for coming on again, and let's close the show.
Okay.
Cheers. Hi, everyone.
Yeah. So, folks, wow.
You know, before I could, you know, go with Dawn, I really want to thank you very much for taking out the time to come and spend every Saturday and most Wednesdays with this lovely audience. I was doing the numbers actually, and we had almost 1,000 people register for this program throughout the period. So we've had fantastic comments, and today is all about testimonies. And I'm gonna let 1 or 2 more people come in, but Dawn, I really want to say that you don't know in life, you know, who are the people that are gonna help you find your purpose. And you have been one of the people who helped me find my purpose. And that to me is very, very special. There are a few other people, but you've been there for me in the good times, in the bad times, in all kind of times. And this is what life is about. Life is about genuinely spending time in the right place as much as possible. Wow. And that's what we're doing here right now. You know, I just got out of quarantine. I was able to see my loved ones for a couple of days, but I took a couple hours to come here and spend this time on session 16. And look at us, you know, for us to line up here on the last show, to be together in real life, because nowadays I say in real life is a serious thing. It's not a joke. You know, people are stuck all over the world still, and the Lord allowed me to come home to be with everyone on Positive Moments, Andrew and Don, in live, and to see everyone, and I hope to see some of you all in real life now, because yes, we've been doing everything virtually, but you never know. You never know.
You know, it's quite interesting, folks. You know, you understand, Andrew being here with us today is really, really special. All I can tell you is that the only place the plane could have, you know, God allowed the plane to refuel was in Spain. You know, that particular plane, the only place to refuel was in Spain, you know. So What we want to do, Andrew, is it possible as we we have to close up and invite some people there? Could we put everybody could come on? Could we get some people on the screen? I don't know, whoever wants to come on. Could we just get some people? They may not say anything.
Yeah, well, we have someone who wants to join us there.
Join us. Is that Mushtaq? Hello, and Lisa. Yeah, guys, could we put some more people on the screen? Could we get some people on the screen, or do you all come on the screen, man? If you don't mind,
I'd love to be here,
you all
brother.
come on. Yeah, Mushtaq. So Mushtaq, let's just get some people coming in, and then Mushtaq, I want to hear from you.
You go ahead, man. You go ahead.
Yeah.
No,
So
I mean, yeah, I was really intrigued by the effort that you guys have been making. I know Don before I know Andrew, and but I know Andrew.
I was surprised because I know you a long time, huh?
But I know Andrew is a student with us at the UTT also, you know, and the experience that we have shared with Andrew, you know, over the years, my wife always has a very familiar comment to make about Andrew, and that is that he always had kept himself humble, regardless of whatever accolades that are bestowed upon him. The humility that he has is one that we can all learn from. And Don, your inspiration to the youths is always something that I would admonish that you continue doing, continue trying to motivate the youths, because we need to make the change from the bottom up rather from the top down.
Yes, I love that. I love that, Mushtaq.
You know, so those are my few comments. I know a lot of people may want to chime in, but I mean, it's my pleasure to have the opportunity. Andrew, when you were in Spain, I mean, we were staying in touch regularly still. And I still have, I mean, wherever I can be of service, please let me know.
Thank you very much. And honestly, just you being part of the show, coming in, joining us, that means the world to I know Don and myself, because we're really trying to make sure we have a show here that has an audience that could spread the word in a good way. I know you've always been the one to want to spread a word in a good way. So thank you very much, Mushtaq, for supporting me along the journey from UTT days. I'm a little bit jealous that Don knows you longer. I didn't know that before. But that's all right, man. That's all right, man. It's better we know each other longer anyhow.
Wow.
So.
And I'm seeing Merlin and Andrew. A couple of people, Syra, hi, and hello. Wow, hello everybody, hello.
Everybody jump on with their videos.
Wow, come on, yes, you want to do it, you know, just to have everybody.
Monica is sharing the love. Hi.
So everybody can jump on with their videos there.
The love. See the love behind.
I'm going to try, if I could just do, I'm not sure it's going to sound like a little fun, but you know, I'm just going to count to 3. And if you could all just say positive moments with Andrew and Don, you know, and we want that to echo in the band. The young man, Christopher Ayer, is still in the room. So we want him to hear positive. What program do we, I'll say 1, 2, 3. What program do we want it to be continued?
Positive moments.
Andrew and Don. Well, everybody has to unmute. A lot of mute.
Everybody unmute yourself. Make sure you unmute.
And we'll go slow. We'll go 1, 2, 3.
Positive moments.
Positive moments with Andrew and Don.
We want to
thank you so much.
Thank you. And even though you say that, you know, this is supposed to be the last one of this series, but I can tell you that we don't want this to end, and we are putting in the work to see how best we can make sure that this comes back around. I know that Don has his missions to continue. I have my missions to continue. We want more of this to come, and we're doing the work behind the scenes to really allow this, not only for you all, but for the rest of the world and Tobago.
A whole lot of us. Thank you.
Yes.
May God continue to bless you all.
Thank you.
Andrew, may I add, please, if I don't know, on behalf of everyone, that we want to wish you good luck in your training as you stand to do us
course.
proud in 2021.
Yes, you
We hope
will.
there will be an Olympics. We hope that there will be
You
an
will
Olympics.
make it. You will
But
make it.
once there is an Olympics, we hope that you could bring home the medal to Trinidad and Tobago and add to the medal count.
Yes.
Wow,
Absolutely.
wow.
Only for positivity.
Yeah,
Only
Yes.
for positivity.
yeah.
All
That's
glory
right.
to God for positivity. I'm not
All your
interested in the
moments to be
fame, not interested
positive.
in the fans.
Yes.
Only for the
Amen.
love and support for the positive of our beautiful country. That is the only reason why I work as hard as I can.
Amen.
I
Amen.
want to bring that love and positivity through my sport and through my ability to use my platform to play, you know?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
so,
God.
well, folks, we're going to close off for now. Okay, we say that we're
Yes.
going to close off for now. And again, the show would not be, the webinars would not be what it is and what it has been if you weren't part of it. Every single
That's
one
right.
of you, some of you may not have said much, but you've typed, some of you send us emails. We still would have that email, andrewandonlive@gmail.com. And we
Right.
encourage you folks to share the webinars. You know, that's why we email you
We do.
all the
Yeah.
webinars, all the time, you know. So please feel
Yeah,
free to
all.
share them, whether they can be used in schools or communities,
Yes.
churches, wherever. Please feel free to share them. That's what they're there for, you know, and that's what Positive Moments has been all about. So again, thank
And
every
thank you.
single
Thank
one of you.
God
Thank
bless.
you. Thank you from Belgium all the way to where's Belgium, England, Canada,
and New York,
Grenada. We had someone on from Grenada as well, to Tobago, Barbados, you know, wherever you're from. This is a world community, and that's what Positive Moments is all about. The world could do with some positivity, and
Yes.
Absolutely. And
Amen.
I'm gonna miss you all for a short period of time until this restarts in the near future. But until then, I want to thank every single one of you, all, even the ones who haven't joined us today. Your audience, y'all as an audience have been amazing. You have come for what I believe is the key to happiness and success in life, for
That's right.
positivity, and that's the only reason this show exists. So may whoever your Lord is take you the direction you want to go, and may you only have the opportunity to smile every single day, love every single day,
Thank
and
you.
where you can't find that, use the loved ones around you to get that, because we all deserve nothing but happiness in this beautiful planet we live in. No matter if COVID virus is going in, no
Amen.
matter what it is, there is
Regardless.
a place for positivity and love.
Yes,
So I want to
positive.
encourage
Yes.
everybody to go out there, find it, embrace it, and once you have that, spread it out, because that is what we're doing here.
wow,
Thank
wow,
you.
wow. So
Thank you. Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, so God bless all of you. And guess we have a little friend who wants to close up. You know, the eagle is in the house, eh? You know, the eagle is always in the house. And what I just want to share with you as we close off, COVID has been a storm, and life will have storms in it, you know, so there's a storm somewhere around. But the word storm, S-T-O-R-M, guess what? S-T-O-R-M, if you take out the R, you're left with storm. So you can make the most out of the storm. And that R could only be for Republic Bank, who has come in and made the difference. Okay, so.
Amen. Amen.
All right,
Amen.
yes, so
Amen.
we want to thank you all. Look, James is there, man. James and your man as well. Kyle as well. Kyle Bones as well is on. Yeah, everybody's in the house.
There, man.
So thank you. Okay, so let's hear that. What's the name of the show again? We want to keep. What's the name of the webinars? What's it go? 1, 2, 3.
Positive moments with Andrew and Don.
Positive moments with Andrew and
Y'all have a blessed night.
You too.
We'll probably see y'all again soon.
you.
All the best.
Thank
Lots
you.
of love.
Thank you.
Leaving on a positive note.
Bye.
Yes.
Andrew.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Much love.